Yo, what up, though, peeps? How's everyone doing today? We got some good news. When I scheduled this, I did not realize the Pistons were on, and Cade Cunningham is back. Cade Cunningham is in the starting lineup, so that's very encouraging to see because we have a lot to talk about following what just happened yesterday. Pistons didn't make as many moves as I thought we were going to, and that's okay. Um, I know we all expected Jimmy G. I can't even use that because he just got beat by Stafford. Jerami Grant's still on the team. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about what the newest Detroit Pistons can bring to the team in the future. Marvin Bagley. We're going to talk about what I want to see from the Pistons from the remainder of the season since there's not going to be any big roster splashes. What's up, man? How's everyone doing today? We got a lot to talk about. Uh, so it's going to be a good show. Plus, I mean, if we get a highlight from Kay tonight, you'll get a live reaction. The old Mason Plumlee revenge game. All right, let's go ahead and hop into it. People will come in, people will go. Let's see. Do I want to start with Jerami Grant? Do I want to start with Bagley? Let's go ahead and start with Jerami Grant. We'll save the best for last. I don't hate Jerami Grant. I like Jerami Grant. You know, a lot of people that would have came into this situation, coming in with a guy like Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose, and you're like, hey man, we can make a run at things. That's what they brought Jerami Grant in. Kind of help those two guys, take some of the load off of them. And a matter of a month, Blake Griffin requested a trade. Derrick Rose requested a trade. The two best players on the team were no longer on the team. So that put everything on Jerami Grant. He had all the opportunity. Second best player, probably Sadiq Bay. He's going to get all the touches. So he was content. It was good for the Pistons. They were able to, I don't know, build up his value, his want from around the league, if you will. I don't know if the Pistons goofed. I don't know if they're going to regret this. I doubt it. But this was probably the first time I can remember at a trade deadline that the Pistons actually had a lot of interest in someone on their roster. When Andre was available, no one wanted him because he may or may not opt out. He may not opt in. Oh, we got some echo. When Andre was a my bad. Uh, but when Andre was on the market, we were advertising him. No one wanted him because they didn't know about his contract. When Blake Griffin was on the market, he was hurt. His contract was really big. People didn't know if they really want to take a gamble on that. Sure, the payoff could have been good if he would have been healthy, but people didn't want to take a gamble. Jerami Grant's in the prime of his career on a really solid deal. He's on the books for next year. So a team could have traded him, gave him a little bit more. I know we wanted 2 first-round draft picks. Maybe teams didn't want to give up 2 first-round draft picks for Jerami Grant. But at the same time, people like Robert Covington are going for first-round draft picks. And Jerami Grant is definitely better than Robert Covington. Not dissing Covington at all. I'd like to have him on my team. He's a great role player. But Jerami Grant is a bucket getter. He's a great third option on these other teams. And I think that with what he said, I think maybe that might have discouraged some teams, saying that he's looking for another max contract extension in the offseason to continue to be the main front of the offense. Contending teams didn't really want to hear that, I guess. I don't know. I don't think that teams still don't want him. I think that in the offseason, we're going to have a bunch of trade rumors, especially with whatever happened with the Brooklyn and Philly situation. At least one of those teams, if not both of those teams, are not going to go to the finals. A lot on the line. A good old-fashioned rivalry. James Harden's going to want to cook the Nets. He doesn't like them for some reason. Ben Simmons is going to want to cook the 76ers. He can't stand them. He hates them. If one of those teams doesn't make the finals, they're going to be looking for that third piece. And Jerami Grant would be that guy. He would help those guys. Help those teams. I mean, Tobias is also a very nice fit for the 76ers. He has been since he's gotten there. That's something similar that Jerami Grant can be, if not better. But nevertheless, he's still on the team. So what did the Pistons do? Is this something that the Pistons are thinking about maybe long-term bringing him back? Are we waiting until the offseason? Are we going to try to trade him next year at the deadline when he is expiring, hoping we might get a little bit more in return for half a year? All these things are very possible and likely scenarios. I thought for sure he was a gone man just the other day. I am shocked he's still here. I'm not disappointed. I'm not upset. I'm fine with that. I like Jerami Grant. He's a great player. I'm just all in on the future right now with what we got going on. I know we could have got something good for Jerami Grant. If we could have got well, right now, if you're doing Tankathon, we're right back in the same boat we were last year. A lot of number one picks coming up on Tankathon for the Pistons. How likely is it that we go back-to-back first overall picks? Probably unlikely. But right now, I'd say we got a good shot at staying in the top 3. We're going to get a good player in the draft. If you could have got another first-round pick in this draft, who knows what you could have done? You could have paired that and a future first to move up and get some 2 guys in the top 10. And that's still a likely scenario. If someone's on the board that the Pistons are really, really, really high on, you could package Jerami Grant and trade there for draft leverage. That's a great player to get if you're trying to move up or if you're trying to move down. You get a solid veteran player, and you still get a late first-round pick. I mean, that's very tempting if you're going to be trying to make some trades at the draft. But if not, if the Pistons go ahead and play him out for the remainder of his contract, he's still a veteran. He's been in the league a long time. He's bounced around the league. He's seen what it takes to be a good team. He's seen what it takes to get to conference championships. He's been there for some of them. He's seen what it takes to be a great player in the league. He's played with some of the best players in the league. He needs to be a leader. And you're seeing Cade Cunningham when he's out there. He's really the leader. He tries to get his guys going all game long, and they can't get it going, so he's got to take over in the fourth quarter. The thing that's really concerning to me about keeping Jerami Grant is Sadiq Bay. A lot of people panicked on Luke Kennard way too early. He's having a very nice year at the Clippers. We decided to move on for Sadiq Bay. Great move. Sadiq, I think, way higher potential. Sadiq has a chance to be a star in this league. He has a chance to make very, very good history with his career. Lots of accolades, accomplishments, records. That kind of guy. You don't want to give him the keys to take them away. And what I mean by that is when Jerami Grant was out, Sadiq Bay stepped up, and he had a handful of super nice games. I think he had like a 5-game streak of 20 points per game for like 5 games in a row, something along that line. He was feeling himself. He looked more comfortable. He was a bigger option. And quite frankly, I would rather have him on my team than Jerami Grant. And I'm not trying to start a beef or discourage people from liking Jerami Grant. I'm not. I just don't want Jerami Grant to take away the role Sadiq Bay was thriving in. I don't want him to take away opportunities for the role that Cade Cunningham was thriving in. That same stretch where Jerami Grant was out, Cade Cunningham shot up, rocketed through the rookie power rankings. He was getting so much respect from around the league. People were actually starting to talk about him as Rookie of the Year. Oh, nice block, Stu. Blocking plum. And they fed him at the other end. That's a nice play for Stu. That's something else we can talk about tonight. Yeah, we are 12-43. That's why I say you go ahead and get another first round pick. And that's a good question. Why are people like Corey Joseph and Rodney McGriddle still on the team? I thought once we moved from Trey Lyles, I thought all those guys were gone. Even if it was just salary dumps. Getting young players, second round picks, just dumping some of those guys off. But I guess not. I'm not questioning Troy Weaver. I think he did a great job because with the trade that the Pistons did make, Josh Jackson, Trey Lyles to the Sacramento Kings for Marvin Bagley. And this is a great trade. The Pistons did a great job of getting a player like this for practically nothing. We weren't giving Josh Jackson any time or any minutes or really any opportunities. Trey Lyles, he did good for a stretch. I was never a fan. He never fit the team, never fit the mold. He was always kind of like the guy just off the bench, just doing something else than what the game plan was. And that could be good and bad some nights. But he wasn't a legit big man. He's a 4, and they had him playing the 5, and it really showed on defense. Marvin Bagley, on the other hand, former top 10 overall pick. They had a lot of high hopes for him in Sacramento with De'Aaron Fox. Unfortunately, they did to him what so famously happens here in Detroit. They had him on the perimeter too much, trying to shoot threes. Please, Dwayne Casey, do not allow that to be the case. Please incorporate this man in the pick and roll. He's a legit lob threat. He's going to be a rim protector. We have a legit big man, and he's still very, very young. He fits the core. He's going to be such a good weapon for Cade, for Killian, for Sadiq. He's going to get a couple offensive rebounds and be able to kick it out to Sadiq if he's open, or, go up and get an and one, whatever it may be. But he's going to do all the dirty work that Stu does, but he's actually 7 foot tall. We got a legit big man. He brings a lot to the team now. This is a good move by the Pistons. Great contract, great opportunity, good fresh start for him. I know he's excited to be here. I know his family's excited to be here. It's just all great. It's a great trade. I don't know what Sacramento's doing, trading away Tyrese Halliburton, but it looks like they're hitting the restart button again. I don't know if they really had a start button, but they're restarting it. And I'm just thankful that we got Bagley. Now in the offseason, it opens things up to what we want to do in the draft. We're going to have a lot of money to spend in free agency. Right now, we're like top 2 or 3 in terms of having money this offseason in free agency. So the Pistons could be a very big player in free agency if they really wanted to. There was a conversation on Pistons Twitter the other night. If the Pistons with all this money should make one big splash or a bunch of little splashes. And I am all for going big or going home. We've tried to sign the guys here and there. We need a game changer. And I'm not talking like taking a gamble on a guy. We've done that too much too. Ben Gordon, Charlie V, Josh Smith, so on and so forth. We tried it with those guys. Give them a little bit more money. Promise them a little bit more offensive role? No. We just did that with Jerami Grant. Not comparing Jerami Grant to those guys' talent because he's much better than all those guys. But we need a legit game changer. A guy who's proven who's worth the money. Someone to go alongside Cade to really make the Pistons a different team, because next year could be very interesting for the Pistons. This year is kind of sad, kind of happy. Like we're rooting for Cade. Cade's fun to watch, but overall the Pistons suck. They're terrible to watch. They're a terrible team. They don't do the simple things right. But next year could be a very different story. Like I said, we're gonna have a top 3, top 5 pick somewhere around that ballpark. We're gonna get a good player in the draft. We're gonna have a lot of money to spend in free agency if the balls go our way. Maybe some of these top free agents this year might be drawn to Detroit. Be like, hey man, I got a lot of young guys. I could be that guy to come in there and take them over to the next step. I hope that's the case. I know Troy's got a plan. He's got an eye on somebody, and we're going to follow those details as they emerge. So I was going to go on a lot longer, but I didn't realize the game was on. So I'm going to go ahead and end this and watch the game. But I'll catch you guys later on the other one, man. Let me know what you guys think about the trade deadline involving the Detroit Pistons. Jerami Grant stays. Josh Jackson, Trey Lyles goes. And the new member of the Detroit Pistons, Marvin Bagley, should be making his debut here within the next couple of games or so. I think he should be going for the game after this one. Hopefully, we'll have to stay tuned, but cannot wait for him to go out there on the court with Cade and just see the chemistry start to build in the future. The Detroit Pistons continue. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a good day. Instagram, Twitter, DSA members, Drew313 shirts in the description. Check it all out. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. And that's the bottom line because Double D said so. Peace.